This is Mike Cockrell from bitdepth Digital Imaging, here to show you how to fix a badly pixelated image. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, and you're going to think I'm insane, is I'm going to increase the size of this already blurred image up by 100%. So if you thought it was blurred before, wait till you see this. It's going to be unrecognizable. Here we go. Okay, so how do I fix this? Well, basically you've got to start from scratch. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have a look at that ball in the center, and I'm going to start redrawing it with the airbrush. So I'm just spraying here, tone in, and I'm getting rid of all of the pixelated bits in there, replacing all the tone, trying to get some dimension, some depth back into that ball, some texture back into that ball, just make it look a bit more, realistic. Okay, now there's the non-realistic bit. Just give the crudeness of these links, but I'm going to fix that up. Let me explain. So on a level, I've drawn these links, and they're on a level with yellow paint, and I'm now airbrushing over the top of them on another layer. When I've finished airbrushing these links, I can then go back to the original yellow paint layer and just erase out the bits that I don't like. And I keep doing this, keep getting the links in there and getting rid of the bits I don't like. But when I've got all my links drawn, well, yes, I have to do the same thing to the other side. Not a problem. I'm not going to bore you with that. It's already done. Next bit is to fix the actual pearl. Okay, remember the problem with a pixelated image is that it's pixelated, which means you've got to basically replace every tone that's in that image. And that means basically airbrushing the bugger out of it. I'm just choosing colors from the original pearl, and on a layer, separate layer, obviously I always work on separate layers. I'm just airbrushing in tones to replace the tones that are already there. I don't want to change the pearl so much. I just want to keep what's there, but I just want to replicate it. So I'll choose, I'm choosing stuff from the right-hand side and copying it over to the left-hand side using the airbrush. And when I'm finished with that, putting the highlights and the bits, I just want to do another trick, which is just to give it a little bit more kick and punch. So I use a little bit of black at a low opacity, and I just go around those edges to make sure that the pearl is really standing out now. It's really looking good and sharp. And unfortunately, I have to do this through the whole of the necklace, and I'm not going to bore you with that. So we're going to jump straight ahead to here, where I've finished. Obviously, the one thing that's missing here is the connectors in the pearl necklace that holds the whole thing together, and I need to put those back in. So how I do that is a very hard brush, and I just punch those connectors through, all the way through the necklace. And then I have a trick, because I want this to look like see-through plastic. So basically I choose brush size half the size with a lighter tone, and put that lighter tone through the middle of the dark line that I've already put down there, and voila, I have got what looks like see-through plastic. I think that's working pretty well. So we go all the way down, just have a good look. Yeah, it's looking pretty slick. So I think I've done all of the hard stuff now, so I can actually reduce this back to its original size, so I can get a good look at how it's going to hold up in this format that it's going to actually print in, the size that it's going to print in. So here we go. This is the size it's going to be. And I think that's holding up pretty well. My chains are looking good. The pearls are looking good. Okay, time for the shadows. If you click on the layer with the pearls, you will come up with a selection. I'm going to make a new layer, stick this layer under the pearls, and fill it with black. Just have a look at that. Take the pearls off. Just switch them off. There's the black layer. So I'm going to give that a bit of a blur. Gaussian blur. 26. Yeah, that looks about good. And I will just offset that slightly to the right and lower it a little bit and then switch the pearls back on. Now you can see the shadow is way too heavy. So I just need to reduce that. So I'll get back to the layers and just reduce the opacity until I'm happy. Now I can see there's still a problem here in that, you know, that's still too floaty at the bottom. Needs something more shadow-wise to cement that. So here's another trick. I use this method. I will select the path, put the path through all the way through, bottom and the top section as well, where it's touching the ground, and I'm going to stroke this path. Now the thing to remember with stroking paths is it's going to use your brush settings, so make sure you set your brush up perfectly. In other words, if you've got a brush size selected of 65, you're going to get an enormous shadow. I used a brush size of 11 when I stroked this path. And here you're going to see it, there's 11. That's what it looks like. Now I've obviously got a Gaussian blur it. Remember, it's on another layer. I always use another layer. So we Gaussian blur it and choose the right setting. That was a bit much. That's not enough. Keep going until you're happy with the amount of shadow. Just a bit too much still. There, I'm happy with that. Okay, and I've overshot a little bit with the line on the left there. So I choose the eraser tool. It's not on full opacity. It's on 41, but I'm just going to keep whacking away at that until I've got that looking better. Okay, last trick in the shadow arsenal is to do a bit of a tricky number. I pull up the brush settings, I hit transfer, and I set the fade control to 25. And what that means is that whatever direction I will paint in, the paint is going to end within 25 pixels. So make sure your brush is set on full round and a hardness setting of 0. And I'm just using another trick here to rotate the angle of the image so that I can actually, it fits the angle of my hand when I'm putting in these shadows. So it's less cumbersome and it's more natural. You get a more natural shadow if you do this. Okay, so we're just flicking away here, putting in that shadow left and right, underneath each pearl that's sitting on the deck. And that's going to make such a difference to the end result because they're really going to look like they belong where they belong rather than floating off somewhere in space. Shadows are such an incredibly important part of any image. Okay, to get out of the rotate, just click on the rotate button again, and we're back to the original image. And I'm pretty happy with that. That's looking pretty good. We just have maybe another quick look at the before and after. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, quite a change. So, if you like this video and would love to see more of the same kind of fixes, solving problems, come and visit my channel, like and subscribe. This is Mike Cockcroft from bitdepth Digital Imaging, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks very much for watching.